you're the one that's getting married to Jackson, right? And then she goes, actually, that would have been today, but we broke up.
No!
Yes, dude.
Welcome to the Spencer Whiteout podcast. Rated R.
You have criminal charges with you, bro. Guess like we're avoiding the shark. Call it leather fetish, dude.
No, it's Turbo Neck Guy.
I'll give you a kiss. You give me your number.
That checked out a ton, dude. Tell me you felt.
We're Americans. We're the ones that are descendants from the 1776 musket-bearing motherfuckers.
Welcome to the Spencer Whiteout podcast. Rated R.
I wish they could see that expression. I really wish they could.
Yeah, they're not, and that's so depressing.
It's tough.
Yeah. But I wish they could see us now.
That's right. We are naked right now.
Yeah, we are naked, so. All right, so welcome to the first episode of the Spencer Whiteout podcast. This is something of legends. We do have 4 legends here gathered in our midst. We have myself, Spencer Whiteout. We have
Andrew Baer.
Luke Reed. Tyson Pestner.
That's right. And Luke and I go way back. We used to push each other on the swings, climb trees, that kind of stuff. So we've known each other for about a year now, right?
Or more.
Or more.
But Spencer, what in the hell are we doing here today?
We are getting together to swap some stories.
Swap some stories. Recount some
bathe
history.
in the nostalgia.
Yes, because the lives that we lived can't go unknown.
It's time to catalog these stories into a canon. It's time to build out a universe, to trek into new territory, to form into an expanse.
I'm ready to become an expanse, dude. That sounds great.
I'm expanding right now.
Hey, Rated R. If you know Spencer, then you know that he's got that catalog of voice memos, those really long notes in his iPhone. He's all about like remembering stories, writing down little tidbits, phrases so that he can write them into a movie. So it kind of makes sense that you would adapt all of these stories from your friends and really cement it into podcast form, you know?
Yeah, and more importantly, so that we have something to brag about, like when we're out in the clubs and in the bars and stuff. Like, yeah, you're part of a podcast now. Like, dude, last night I was chatting with these babes, and I was hyping it up, making it sound like something, you know, amazing, cataclysmic and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm driving down to LA. We're working on projects. I got a buddy that's a filmmaker and stuff, and we're launching a podcast right now. So you can go ahead and buy my drink.
That sounds really legit.
It's a huge podcast. It's the biggest podcast that I've ever seen.
Okay, here's a Trump joke. Okay. So did you hear that they're repossessing Trump's assets? I did not. Yeah, they confiscated his hotels, his golf resorts, and he stated, quote, "They've cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort."
That's pretty good.
Suffocation, no breathing.
There we go.
So let's dive into a story. Luke, everything is gone.
Everything is gone. Buckle up. So I'm kicking it with all my pals and stuff, and we like going over to our guy's house. His name's Lemony. And we like Lemony because we're all like 20 or 21, something like that, you know, and we have no place to drink.
This is a few years back.
This is a few years back. I'm not 20 anymore. And so we like going over to his house because he's like the first friend that like had their own place, you know? So anyways, he's super stoked on the fact that he's got his own rental. And so we decide, hey, let's have a party here. Let's get some drinks. Let's get some people in here and stuff. And so me and another friend, Bun.
Wait. What's his name?
Bun.
And so we started inviting some people over. And Lemony's like, yeah, dude, like invite people over. Invite anybody over. You know, this thing has to be Project X to the max. And so he goes along with
dude.
Bun. And they do an alcohol run. And so Bun is driving, Lemony is in the passenger seat. He pops his whole torso out of the window and starts like fangirl New York City, like talking to the world, inviting everybody over to his house.
Wow.
And he's like,
wow.
you come over and stuff.
He's like throwing him the address. He's telling
he's telling people the address. They're just encountering random heads on the road and telling them to come on over to his place and stuff. And so I thought it was going to be a low-key night. It was not. And so many people come over and it starts becoming like the dregs of society. It's not the pals.
Pretty soon there's more people that you don't know than you do know.
Right.
Wow.
Just strangers. Start talking to people. There's like ex-con there. There's a Nazi skinhead. And I'm like, this is getting out of hand. And so I'm like, I should probably bounce. I should probably go. And so I leave. The next morning,
Lemonoid.
Lemonhead gives me a call. And he's like,
Get this.
Dude, you know how I invited all those people over last night? And I was like, yeah, that's why I left. And he's like, dude, everything is gone. I'm like, what do you mean everything is gone? He's like, dude, everything is gone. TVs, PlayStation, Xbox, game systems, nice stuff, jewelry, furniture, dude. They stole his ottoman. They stole everything. Why would you steal an ottoman? You can't sell that on the black market. There's not a black market for the ottomans, you know? Wow. They stole everything, dude.
That's literally the plot to, I think, like 50 movies.
Where they steal everything.
Like you just wake up and then everything's gone.
Yeah, and then you have to fix it up before the parents come back. It's
Oh,
kinda
yeah,
classic.
right,
Yeah.
Except
well,
in
luckily
this-
you didn't have to do that.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to ask. Is was he living with anyone else?
I know he lived with somebody that got stabbed, but I think
Wait,
that
like
was a
that
different.
night they got stabbed?
No,
Oh,
but I mean, if you're living with him, you're gonna get stabbed.
you're eventually going to get stabbed.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah. I know.
So we got another Bun story.
Bun, dude, Bun, man. So we like to go over to my buddy's house and do like fake camping, which is like camping in his front yard.
We call it famping.
Famping, yeah. And really, we would just go there and like have a few beers and all that stuff. And so we got super messed up this one night, and Bun runs.
I love the hesitation here.
Trying to,
I know
like,
it's gonna
censor
get
myself.
really good.
How much can I say?
So Bun runs off.
Bun run.
And he starts making calls and stuff. Oh, you know, he took out his phone and was like, I'm going to start calling whoever and stuff. And I was like, don't do that. You need to put your phone away right now. Because, you know, once you're past a certain point, you're like, you don't need to be making any sort of connections to the outside world.
No.
This is
This
where it
stays here.
stays.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What happens in, you know, what happens with Bun stays with Bun, you know. So don't run off and start calling random people. Anyway, so he runs away like a child.
And he's done this
And
in another story you have
He's done this
later.
other times.
Yeah,
Sometimes
he
when
will
we're
just-
like, yo, get off your phone, he just runs.
He runs away. He's like, no.
Nobody controls me. So like a half hour later, he runs up back to the bonfire, back to the tent and all that stuff, along with me and the other guys. And so he runs and dives directly onto this piece of cardboard that we were using as kindling. We had it laid out. He dives directly onto the kindling.
Oh, wait, is this on the bonfire?
Not on the bonfire, next to the bonfire.
Okay,
Dives
good.
onto the cardboard. He skids like a few feet, lands face down, ass up, and passes out.
No.
Face down, ass up, like his butt is in the air.
Hit his head out cold.
No,
Well,
no.
You just say it like that for the
Okay.
story.
Yeah, he's out cold. He died. That's it. End of the story. No, anyways, the next morning, what was this story about?
The game.
Oh yeah, the gator. The next morning, so he's feeling terrible. But we have all this property, you know, we're on my guy's property and he's got like a bunch of motorcycles and quads and that type of thing. And they've also got a gator, which I don't know if you know what a gator is, but it's like a side-by-side that has a truck bed. So it's like a mini truck kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, with like 6 wheels. It's awesome. And so they've got a spot down the hill with all these like jumps and like this pit. It's like a course.
Jumps
It's like
and a course for the gator or for like motorcycles?
It's not for the gator,
What
but
is
it's
it
for
for?
like the four-wheelers and the
Yeah.
quads and stuff.
Oh, right.
And so like they
Where
kind
is
of
this?
like a mini course. I'm not gonna tell you. So So it's me, Bun, and
No
Chris.
Lemony. No Lemony this time.
Lemony was not here. And so it's me and Chris driving the Gator. And we make Bun hop in the back. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, just kind of go easy because, like, I don't have a real seat. You know, I'm out in the back of the Gator. So, like, just kind of go easy and stuff. And it's Chris's turn to drive. And he's just freaking thrashing that thing around with Bun in the back. And there's, like, these rivets that, like, stick up in your ass. No. It is not comfortable, to say the least. And he's, like, thrashing around, doing donuts, going off jumps and stuff. And Bun is in the back. He's like, slow down, slow down. And so our buddy Jay, he's on a 4x4, a quad, going off his own jumps, doing his own thing and stuff. And so Bun looks over to Jay, and while he's being thrashed around and stuff, he looks over at Jay and he goes, Jay, help, help. Like as if he's going to like Indiana Jones and like swing onto the Gator, like pick him up or something like that.
Jump from Gator to Gator.
That would have been impressive, actually.
Yeah, I know. I wish that was the ending, but that's that. Okay, dude.
All right, so now I got one. So I'm with my buddy Scott. We're driving home after like a youth group thing at a Bayside church. Scott and I are kind of like, all right, we're feeling good. We just chopped it up with a bunch of babes. We were talking to girls, and we were like feeling all hyped, and we're like, this is cool. I mean, that's why you go to church, right? You know, babes. Meet the babes. No. But we got our worship on, and after that, we're driving home, right? And we're like, blasting it, dude. We're like just driving fast, and then this like white car drives up next to us, and we look over, dude, and there is this babe like in the next car over, and she like looks over at us, and we're like, hey.
As one does.
No, but we were like kind of doing like the whole race thing, you know, where it's like, oh, she drives ahead a little bit, we drive ahead a little bit, and we were like kind of doing the whole lock eyes
bantering
thing.
around a little bit.
Yeah, we were bantering, dude.
Is she
And-
driving?
Yeah.
Wow. No, I'm just, anticipating the ending of the story. She died.
Dies.
So you guys are racing a little bit.
We're doing a little bit of racing, a little bit of teasing, right? I had the window rolled down and being like, pull over. So aggressive. And then she like speeds ahead of us, drives up into the, like this parking lot. So we go over and we park, right?
Can't believe that worked.
Yeah. I wish it didn't, because we park, get out of the car. She gets out of the car. Is she as cute as I thought? I don't know. And then
They're never as cute as you thought when you're hyped up on worship.
The worship had worn out by
I
this
start
point.
walking towards her with. Okay.
I just figured the worship had worn out by this point. That was a good line. I loved it.
I get out of the car. She gets out of the car. Scott gets out of the car. Everyone's out of the car. And I start taking one. Start walking over to her. Every step closer I get to her, I'm regretting more and more. I'm like, no. Yeah, because the thing was,
She was hot from a distance.
yeah. And the thing was, is the closer I get, it literally looked like face paint. There was so much makeup on. It was so awkward, dude. I no longer am attracted to this girl, but I have to like pretend I am so that I don't just like
You
book
can't
it
be an
back to the
absolute douche.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not just gonna walk up to her, turn around, walk back. So and
Never
and
mind.
Listen, I'm really sorry. I thought you were hotter.
Shots fired.
But you're not.
Listen, no disrespect.
And I was like, oh, we're just coming back from something. What about you? She's like,
Yeah, I just got my makeup done.
I can tell.
I can see that.
It looks good.
What do they use, a sandblaster? Jeez.
Yeah, right. And then this is the part where it was like, it was an obligatory phone number exchange. You don't want to, but like, you can't just be like, hi, cool, nice to meet you. Okay, bye.
Yeah, you made her pull over.
I give her my number. The entire drive home, I'm sitting in the passenger seat and I'm like, what have I done?
Oh no.
That's it.
No,
You know what,
thanks.
my buddy Daniel, he for this exact scenario, if you're on like a road trip or you're driving somewhere and you see someone who you're like, oh, they're cute on the other side, like he intentionally keeps a whiteboard in the car.
No.
Yeah, for when him and buddies were going on like longer road trips.
So you can do like stick figures of people making out and be like, "That's what I want to do." Right?
No,
Is that where you're going with this?
No, he's a lot funnier than that, actually.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Stick figures, but they're not just making out, Anyway,
It's a whole heap of sticks.
Yeah, it's a whole heap of sticks. But yeah, so you just write
big
numbers down,
stick.
and then they would like text back and forth throughout the whole thing.
That's
it's
the
an,
move, dude.
It's an alternative to rolling down the window and yelling, "Paul Halver!"
There you
Yeah,
go.
that is a lot
Planning
better.
for the worst.
Yeah.
There
Maybe
are
I need
those-
to get a whiteboard.
That's what you should do.
There are those people who advertise their Instagrams on the side of their
That's
car. Have you
right.
seen
Yeah.
that?
Really?
Especially the car guys.
Wait, that's a
Yeah,
thing?
especially car
it's just
guys
the
on
car
YouTube.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
People
like,
will get
Wait,
a
really?
little
A lot of
sticker, a decal that has their Instagram handle on
they're
it
like,
and a logo so you're going to follow
Andrew
them.
Baer.
Dude, that's actually
Spencer Whiteout.
That's not a bad idea.
Rated
they make
R.
Rated R. Rated R. That's become my favorite thing now.
It's way better than mine.
Rated R.
Raider.
But anyway, dude, like Vistaprint, they make magnets that you can put on your car.
Speaking of which, this episode was brought to you by
Brought to you by
Vistaprint.
Squarespace.
Nah, this podcast
we don't have
has
any
no sponsors
we
yet.
have no sponsors.
But the first one will be
Yeah.
Squarespace.
This is
I'm
like
trying to get
Tyson's-
you the sponsor
This
right
is
now.
Tyson's way of like, you try to pretend it's not an ad. You're like,
It's not-
yeah,
yeah.
I really do like Skillshare, and then secretly slip the link in the description.
In this example, they'd be like, yeah, and like you were yelling out, like, pull over. Like, that can be really hard on your voice. And anyway, if you're looking for something that makes you feel good and taking care of your voice,
Methamphetamines.
which just so happens to be our sponsor today.
And there you have it. That was the first episode of the Spencer Whiteout podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, which I know you did, go ahead and leave a review. 5 stars is a power play. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Spencer Whiteout so you can stay up to date on all the new podcast news. There's going to be a lot more content coming soon. I'm planning to release episodes every other week. So be sure to stay tuned and stay hyped.
Inserting exclusive audio recording from the vault.
And then on my way out, security guard checks the bags, and so the thing is, you're not allowed to bring any phone accessories into the warehouse. You can't bring your phone charger, you can't bring earbuds, you can't bring any of that. So on my way out, dumps out my bag, things go flying everywhere. And he's like, "What are these?" And I'm like, yeah, these are headphones.
It's like the
I brought-
PCA, right? Or what is that?
It's like the TSA at the airport.
TSA.
They strip me down. I'm in a metal
Yeah,
detector.
they start waving the wand, dude.
Waving the
all
wand,
over.
I'm in a metal
You're like,
detector. They strip me down.
They strip you
They
down.
dump my
They
bag on the
hose you
ground.
off.
They got all the coronavirus off of me before going back into the
it's like a what is that thing called? What's that, like airlock? Like,
yeah, they completely sanitize me.
yeah, buckets of hand sanitizer start pouring down, dude.
And then they
dude,
put me in the
Febreze,
desanitation tank.
And then-
Desensitizing tank?
desanitation,
No, like this.
sleep deprivation tank.
Yeah, dude. I'm put in this tank and I lost all my senses and I was floating. They put me in this tank and I'm floating. 2 days later, I wake up.
And that's it.